Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another installment of For the Fan, episode number 166. As always, I am Will, and we have the Stanley Steamer himself. If he wasn't doing what he has been doing for the last couple of years at his job, he'd probably be steaming carpets. We got Dom, and we got the number one quote of the week from Jake. Absolutely. Go Birds.
Go Birds.
Dickhead.
Go Birds, dickhead.
Gentlemen, how are we doing?
How's it going?
What a week one it's been. So glad football is back. It's so great to see, 7 hours of commercial-filled football on NFL Red Zone, plus everything else that was going on there. A lot of highs, a lot of lows, a lot of in between as well. So we've really hit like all the aspects there. A lot of great games this week. There are really very few bad games. A lot of great games, though.
It was certainly week one. Some teams did not look like they had it together yet.
As what Kyle Brandt did on Good Morning Football, he said, week one's a lie. Don't ever buy in the week one. He's like, oh, hey, the Saints putting up, 50 points. The most amount of points ever put up by a 5-win team.
Yeah. Week one's officially just new, like week 5 of preseason or week 4, whatever we have anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, and you can't judge anything on a week one. You can't. And then people like, even in fantasy, like I was set my lineup today. And then, you have all the this team gave up the fewest yards this season. And it's like, why do you even have that stat? It's been one week.
There has to be stuff to talk about every single week.
Yeah. Indianapolis isn't the top defense. They just played a bad team. Like, get out of here. I don't need to know. You can't base anything off of week one.
But yes, gentlemen, I'm kind of over the talk here. We're going to go right into everything from around the league. You are listening to For the Fan.
You are listening to For the Fan.
I have a couple fantasy questions coming in here right now. We're going to answer fantasy questions. Where's the banner? 5:30, half past the hour here. But you can follow us on all the social media platforms down below. YouTube For the Fan Network, TikTok For the Fan Network, X For the Fan _ and Instagram For the Fan Football. We're going to start out here in Chicago, where hours before their home opener on week number 1, the Bears decide, yeah, let's just drop a letter to all our season ticket holders, kind of saying, hey, we're going to go all in, zero in on this site of Arlington, where the former racetrack was right outside the city of Chicago, basically saying we want to host the Super Bowl here in 2031. Basically, the end of Soldier Field might be on the way. At one point was a historical landmark, historical site at one point before the renovations happened and how it looks today. Gentlemen, what are we thinking of the Bears just dropping a big dud right before their home opener here?
Well, they played at home, right?
They did play at home. They released it to their season ticket holders like, we're going to be moving soon. We're kind of wanting to get this thing done here.
It wasn't the best look when, as that stuff happens and all that talk and the Bears, are they even going to be good? And new head coach, all that stuff. And then, heading into Monday night's game, all you see on Twitter is, how bad their field looks. So that doesn't help any of the situation.
It's just unfortunate they couldn't find a way to, have a temporary stadium while they redid Soldier Field and made it modern.
Yeah, that is true. Genuinely. What is the timeline on all that stuff, Will?
Nothing is broken ground yet. Obviously, with all the new stadium projects from all around the league, you have the Commanders who will eventually break ground on RFK Stadium. Not sure if that's been imploded yet. So they're planning on trying to open that by 2030. The Bears, obviously, you got to think, 4 years. So you would kind of want to break ground by, early spring next year if you're really going all in on this 300+ acre area of land that you bought, a couple years ago. I remember talking about that. Yeah, I don't know. You got to really figure this out. You have Northwestern who's getting a new stadium over there, but they're playing on a very pretty 10,000 seat stadium right on the shores of one of the Great Lakes up there, which is pretty funny to think of how it's all set up there. But you go through this whole thing where, yes, it was a historical like landmark, like it was a big site, like obviously one of the very first stadiums in the league, and then they just completely remodel it. They remove the what's it called, the historicalness of it, so they can do these improvements on it and how it looks today. Obviously, what you see on TV is what you see on TV. I don't think it's that good of a looking stadium, but obviously, with them wanting to go through with this Arlington site, it's going to be something interesting.
It's almost like consider Green Bay ever moving out of Lambeau into like a whole new different stadium that's not that same like or similar site. It's just like it doesn't feel like it should be a thing. Like Soldier Field and Lambeau need to be a thing forever in some capacity.
Yeah, I mean, you got to do it justice. So, like, I hope the new stadium is not, MetLife, because that's a newer stadium. Well, I guess MetLife isn't a newer stadium anymore, is it?
Not really, no.
No.
I didn't know dumps were considered new.
It's like you see college
it's
teams
like-
do this all the time, where they like modernize and revamp like a historic stadium, like the Big House, the Horseshoe in Columbus. Beaver Stadium's getting a whole facelift right now.
Yeah, I don't know. They got to do it justice, though. They got to do it and some of the Bears' history justice with it as well. I think that's important. Yeah, it is all they got. You're right. So, and Chicago's a town with character. Like, there's a lot of character in Chicago. They have an opportunity to make honestly, like a substantial, awesome stadium. So I hope they do so. But, in typical Chicago Bears fashion, my expectations are not extremely high.
Obviously, this is going to be another dying breed of the stadiums. Obviously, they want to make it a domed environment. Obviously, SoFi is kind of like the standard of how a lot of the stadiums want to look, especially for a $5 billion stadium that they put out there in, right outside of Los Angeles a couple of years back. A lot of teams are going to be following suit with this. It's unfortunate. Obviously, with the grounds crew there in Chicago, they had to work triple time, quadruple time because that field was atrocious before, having to resod everything, do all that stuff. It was just very, it was not a good looking field. And we saw, remember that game back a couple years ago, Bears and Niners week 1, it was flooding and the field just looked like it was just coming off the ground with how much rain was coming down. It looked bad.
Yeah, I do remember that game. Well, again, it's the Bears and poor ownership.
That's what I mean. Expectations may not be the highest, but you got to hope that they do them justice.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. I don't have much else in the Bears Stadium. I kind of want to go into the injury roundup here where I go on the Twitter, Wesley Steinberg. Giants are optimistic that Micah McFadden will be back in time for the playoffs.
Okay. Dude, come on.
Is he getting traded while he's hurt?
Let's see. Let's start out with the Niners here in Santa Clara. Big injuries. George Kittle put on IR with a hamstring injury. They have 4 games in the next 20-something days. So obviously an IR candidate to say the least there for their aging tight end who's still, a really good asset to them. Brock Purdy, a long shot to play according to Kyle Shanahan. That's my bad. Very long shot with a toe injury that is a lot worse than a non-throwing shoulder that he's also suffering through. Aaron Rodgers going through some back soreness, which is, obviously having to carry the Steelers on Sunday to a victory was one thing. Brock Bowers left early against the Patriots with a knee injury. He says he feels fine. He feels good. Trying to, revamp everything, go back through. They kept him out just for precautionary reasons. He says he feels fine in the locker room. Obviously, they don't practice until Thursday due to the game being Monday night. So we'll have a lot more information come tomorrow after the Raiders practice. Let's see. Let's scroll through here. Let's see if I can find anything else. There we go.
How's Worthy status?
Worthy, yeah. So let me pull up the quote here from Andy Reid. He did not practice Wednesday, but on Monday, he said the team's going to take it day by day with the star. He says, I know Xavier, the big question, he's rehabbing and working on the shoulder. We'll just go day by day and how it goes. RotoWire says Reid was very careful to put the words together for Xavier Worthy. So it doesn't look optimistic. I think you would have to think he's going to miss this week, at least according to ESPN. They don't have him ranked on any rankings and whatnot. So
Curious for fantasy reasons, obviously.
yeah, Darnell Mooney, he came back to practice, I think, today, despite the shoulder injury. Obviously, a good sign that he is practicing with going to Minnesota for Sunday Night Football against the Minnesota Vikings. Malik Neighbors still dealing with the back injury. Was limited in practice today. James Cook, on the other hand, was limited in practice due to a hamstring injury. And also, new kicker for the 49ers, Eddie Pinheiro. Yeah.
That's a name I haven't heard in a little bit.
That's like almost worse. That's hard.
I mean, some people in this room might say there may not be anything worse than Jake Moody.
I'm not in that room, so obviously that's not me. So talk about who wants to be a millionaire, 50-50 lifelines here. Hold on. Wait, where's my mouse? I got it.
Okay, yep. Thanks, Will. Past fantasy owner me has said.
I picked him up last year too. That ankle injury really messed him up. I have to say that ankle injury that he had week 6 against the Cardinals last year really, turned the tails on his career. And then also Juwan Jennings, shoulder. It isn't as bad as they thought it was on the MRI, so he might be trending to play. He did not practice on Wednesday, so obviously 2 more days of practice are going to be telling for him. And that's it, really, for the injury roundup. Very light, which is good. Yep. We don't like injuries, so hey, turn them off, keep them off for as long as possible. Let's go into some debate questions here, gents. Okay, we have a lot of questions here. But what did we learn from week 1? What is your biggest learning point from week number 1?
That you can't really we're going to do it, but you can't really overreact to week 1.
Yeah, we're going to do it. But I mean, that's it. You really can't overreact to week 1. I mean, it's like, wow, if you did, the Indianapolis Colts are Super Bowl contenders. You
learned that spitting is worse than punching somebody.
Also, running into your teammates and walking away from them, even though, they dislocate their shoulders, one thing.
Yep.
Obviously, I want to just say week 1's a liar. That's what I'm learning from this week. It's just, not everything you see. Obviously, there was a lot of great football this week. There really was. You couldn't, every corner of the globe, essentially, you were finding great football, no matter where it was. 4:00 hour, not so much. Excuse me, but 1:00, man, that was a great hour. Well, great early window of football, especially Sunday night, Monday night as well, Thursday night, Friday night.
That I don't know if they didn't know it already, but they should have definitely learned it. Is that Baltimore and Lamar cannot hold leads. This is not a new trend.
I was gonna say, that is one thing I guess maybe didn't learn, but one thing that is standing true is that for whatever reason, under the lights, Baltimore just can't put it down.
Under the lights, they had one a couple years ago against the Giants, where he fumbled 3 times.
It's like every playoff
1:00 game. It's like this is a startling trend from Lamar and even just Harbaugh.
I don't know who goes off to a slower start here, the Ravens or the Bengals.
The Bengals.
The Bengals were held to 7 yards offensively, and they somehow won that game in the second half.
Listen,
bro,
they won a week 1 game.
Yeah.
Listen, last time they won a week 1 game, they went to the Super Bowl. So obviously there's stats there. There's stuff to back it up. When they don't win a week 1 game, they don't go to the Super Bowl.
I will say, maybe slight overreaction, but maybe night games are back. All the night games are pretty good. All the night games were some of the best games of the week. Night games could be back.
Yeah, is Thursday also a thing? Because then we got Green Bay and Washington this week.
Green Bay
Yeah.
Washington's going to be a good matchup. I know we'll be talking about that at the end of the show.
Thursday used to be like the automatic I'm not watching.
That's what I'm
Doing
saying,
other
dude.
things.
Automatic
Yeah.
yawn.
Last 2 seasons, Thursday Night Football. Remember we had that stretch of like however many quarters.
It got good at the end of last season, though.
It did.
Yeah, we did have that stretch of like no touchdowns. It was like Broncos Colts, and it was like 12-9.
Yeah, and then like the next game, like the whole first half of the next game had no touchdowns either. So it was like 6+ quarters of Thursday Night Football without any touchdowns. Yeah, but maybe night games are back.
I took out the overreaction. I don't know if you guys saw the text, but I did want to revamp it with another question here. So with the Broncos announcing on Monday as well that they are going to add a roof to their stadium, obviously no taxpayer funds, brought in for it. Obviously, when you own Walmart, you're, the top 10 richest person to ever live. So he's shelling out the money to put on a Paycor. No, Paycor is Pittsburgh. Empowerment Field, something like that. Mile High Stadium. We're still going to stick with that, okay?
Yeah.
Adding a dome. So I want to ask you guys this question. Is open air stadiums coming to an end here in the NFL? Obviously, Commanders are having their RFK, SoFi Stadium. The Titans are opening up their new stadium next year. The Bills are having just coverage over the seats, not the field, just the seats. So obviously you still have the open air aspect. The Jaguars, I don't know how far they are in discussions, which possibly revamping their stadium with SoFi of the East down with Everbank Stadium. But yeah,
they got 2 pools.
They have 2 pools. Come on, dude. Why would you want to get rid of that?
Dude, there's just so much stuff going on. I don't know. Jackson Duval.
Here's the thing. I think open air. Do you guys think that Detroit playing all those dome games last season, along with their own home being dome, and having so much success last season, do you think that influences at all some of these decisions to close stadiums?
I think the stadiums more so go to, like, you think of the owners wanting to capitalize on as much money as humanly possible. Like, obviously, like Philadelphia, MetLife, Gillette, Buffalo, Pittsburgh. It's like you got what, like April to like maybe October. Maybe October is a big thing. So obviously you can't have, concerts and this stuff and that stuff. But like you have like FIFA coming over for the World Cup. Obviously they're going to use all the open air stadiums plus, Dallas and SoFi, like all that kind of stuff to regulate those games.
It's true.
But it's kind of, it goes down to like, okay, yeah, Denver could host a Super Bowl if they want to. They do have the stadium for it. They can obviously make the proposal for it. The Bears obviously want to host the Super Bowl. DC wants to host the Super Bowl. You have all these things. Obviously, it goes down to the debate of like grass too and like that stuff, like trying to redo it all. Obviously with the Bears, this past week. So
I wonder what the financial situation is. And obviously this isn't me asking. This is me just purely throwing this out there as a thought. I wonder what the financial situation is on maintenance. Because if you think about it, yeah, if you're not facing conditions on all those seats and all that stuff, yeah, maintenance is going to be less. But you also do have to heat and cool that environment and like do other things to that environment. I'm sure in some places you have to dehumidify. Like I'm sure there's other things you have to do to that environment as well. That is pretty costly. So I wonder if one is as lopsided as the other would be or not. Because you also, like you said about the field, so there's a lot of factors when you think about open close. But I think I think
I saw it correctly. It only takes about $6,000 to really maintain a turf field, which really isn't that much compared to, I forgot what the number was for like grass fields. It really was like, I don't know, 10 times that with like water and sodding and this and that.
But then you also have Arizona, who does do grass field and rolls it in. So it's like
just like the Raiders, they have it out, they roll it in, they do that stuff.
So even at that point, the field's not even a factor. Love that.
That is Sprite Cranberry in the background with the mythical Bapple as well.
Game recognizes game well. There you go.
As we have L. Del Chris, who says Arizona Cardinals might be Super Bowl bound this year.
Overreaction. There you go. That's what week 1 is for. Perfect. I love it. Just like how Kyler had diarrhea going into that game. and there's no way it wasn't from that cotton candy burrito. I swear to God. As soon as I saw that report, that's all I could think about was
Oh
that
my
stupid burrito.
We're never gonna get rid of
Oh,
this.
trying to
burrito.
forget about it.
We're never
Eldel
gonna-
Chris, I tell you what, if you are a Cardinals fan and you live there, I just want to know if you have seen in person or had or experienced the cotton candy burrito from the stadium. Because if so,
I also want to know how much it costs too.
yeah, that too. So
They did play the Saints on Sunday, and they did notch a W, so that's good. Shall we move on to the next topic here?
yeah, go for it.
All right, we've been watching sports for a very long time. Obviously, we get into, other sports and all that stuff, dabble in, a little bit of everything here. But I do have this question for you guys, okay? What is the one thing about sports that blows your mind to this day?
Yeah, this is always a good question. Just off the top of my head, some of the next gen stuff kind of blows my mind. Like how they do the tennis ball thing where like they pinpoint exactly where it landed on the line, like to the millimeter. Like that stuff's pretty impressive to me. Or like chip inside the puck kind of stuff. Some of that's pretty impressive. Technology, that's on the technology side of it.
What really blows my mind is with all this money and all this growth in all the sports, how officials are always trash.
Mm-hmm.
Like everything's getting better in every aspect of every game except the officials.
Unless baseball starts doing the automatic strike zone stuff or whatever. That could change real fast.
Angel Hernandez, man.
He doesn't even work for them anymore. He finally got fired.
That's a surprise. Chris also says ESPN is ranked 8th on the Super Bowl contenders after the Rams.
That Arizona is. Solid. But it is week 1. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's some of those superhuman athletes that are just insane. I know me and Jake follow like the like powerlifting world a little bit, and the Mountain from Game of Thrones just broke like his own record that he's set now 3 times on the amount of weight.
It was like 1,130 pounds or something.
Yeah,
That's almost spot on.
Yeah, 1,125.
Yeah.
I was gonna say 27, but I'm like, yeah, he just has those little 2.5 pound weights on the side there.
Kilograms. That's in kilograms.
The kilos.
But yeah, no, that stuff's just like the most absurd. The superhuman stuff is just nuts.
I'm gonna go a different aspect here. Like we have a lot of like arenas around here that go from basketball to hockey, but like the transition of them, like for example, the Xfinity Center, it's Wells Fargo Center. I'm still gonna call it that, but
Better not.
I'm still
If you keep the curse around, I'm gonna kill you.
But like a lot of these stadiums, like Philly, and you got Newark, MSG, even the like TD Garden, where they have a hockey game at 1 in the afternoon, they somehow can rotate all that ice out, which they paint on fresh every single game, which still like blows my mind. I always want to think like it's just a puzzle piece they put together underneath and just fill it with water, and they rotate it all out, they get it all out of the way, and boom, it's just basketball at like 7:00 at night. The fact that they can rotate that stuff out is like still like a crazy like feat for me.
On top of stadium or concert venues too.
Like the concert event, like doing like concerts to hockey, and then like back to that, and it's just like, oh hey, you have concert hockey, basketball. It's like,
no, that's good observation. I mean, it's true. On top of like sometimes they have other events that happen in there that they got to set up for, like other minor events that just they are a venue for, that you don't even think about.
I just thought of one.
Which one?
This is my favorite part about football in particular is like the pre-snap chess game. Like how people go into their film in the week, so they kind of know the things to look for, but then like you're reading and reacting off each other, like those classic Brady versus Ray Lewis at the line dummies and chess games. That's always just fun to watch. It blows my mind how they're just playing this game within the game.
Mm-hmm. That's a fact. Yeah, gamesmanship and game within the game, like even on field, everything like that is pretty great. Plus, baseball having a pitch clock because people are so impatient these days. That blows my mind. That's fair.
I do like baseball like in person rather than watching it on TV. It's just like it's like one of those things. Like you could watch hockey on TV, but it's like so much better when like you're in person at it. Like football, you could do whatever. You could sit down, be up and all that stuff.
It's just I'm sorry. Before even Colton comes in here, there's someone in the TikTok chat. Their name is just ... but they go, they asked a question and then they go, that's cool and all. But should I start Dak over Mahomes? Which is the question they asked before. I like that. It's just so funny, dude. We'll get to them in like 3 minutes.
Yeah, we'll get to them in like 2 minutes here.
But that was entertaining. I appreciate that.
Oh man.
Get him in here.
He's chewing. I don't want to disrupt him. Want to give me a thumbs up if I can allow you in? Oh, okay, we got it. There he is, the hubby of the group here, Mr. Colton. Colton, how are we doing on this very gloomy Wednesday?
Yeah, gloomy indeed, gentlemen. Yeah, I'm all right. That's probably all I could probably say. I think it's a shitty day in America. Either side of the spectrum, but we got football to talk about. So I'm going to try to get my headspace there mentally. I'm swell, fellas.
What's one thing about sports, though, Colton, that still blows your mind to this day? Whether it's like the setting up of sports, out of sports, doing all like that stuff.
That kind of ties into today. How about that? Doesn't matter what spectrum of the aisle that you are on, as far as politics, left or right, you will all be like family when it comes to sports. Doesn't matter your skin color, doesn't matter what religion you follow. You are all, if you are a fan of that team or if you're playing that sport, those are your brothers. And I find that's what's like odd about everything. You think of 9/11, you thought of the Yankees, you thought about the Mets, and I mean, you had I think it was Mets Braves, hated rivalry, and it was just like everyone banding together. And it was kind of like, I think even Braves fans kind of thought that day, let the fucking Mets, excuse my French, have this win. And it's the way it went off, the home run from Piazza, just everything comes back to it with sports. So ironically, terrible day in our country today. But sports kind of gets everyone together, which is kind of ironic at the end of the day. At least that's how I view it. Some other people might look at me like, oh, what are you talking about? This is not at all. I always just view it that way. Darkest days, sports always kind of brings us back together and kind of, I don't know. I could be terribly off on this one. That's what I always kind of view sports. So ironically.
I mean, it's true. That's why sports exists. I mean, it's not exactly why, but that is why.
No, it's definitely not at all why. But just ironic.
I have one more question. This is definitely gonna, turn some heads. So I'm sorry for this opinion here. Better breakfast item, waffle or pancake? Go.
Can I answer neither?
French toast.
Are you a French toast guy?
I'm like not a breakfast person at all.
Honestly, I don't really do the whole breaded breakfast thing. Like I'm just eggs and some sort of like.
Yeah, I'm not a big breakfast guy.
But if
a Waffle House waffle has my heart every single time.
Make me choose between these two. I'm going with waffles.
See, if you're gonna make me pick, it'd be pancakes. Give me a great. Oh, was it from Denny? No, Bob Evans. Like a Bob Evans chocolate covered pancake, dude, blow your socks off.
Dude, I haven't had a good pancake since Denny's left. Okay, that was like the Denny's by me turned into like a Asian fusion restaurant, and I just am like, at one point, you used to get like a $6 breakfast. Now I don't even know where the closest one is to me.
There are two sides of the spectrum here to think about. Pancakes, I do love pancakes more. Taste great. You could just they get soggy. That's fantastic. I love it because the syrup's so good. But waffles, man, waffles have the capability to carry a lot in there.
You can make a waffle into a sandwich.
Yeah, you can make a waffle. The pancake sandwiches are not as good as waffle sandwiches.
Because one of my favorite things in the whole world is chicken and waffles.
No one does chicken and pancakes. I mean, it is. It is. I do agree with this statement. Breakfast is the most important
It's all right.
meal of the day.
You're talking about a guy that is literally didn't eat breakfast or lunch, and I'm eating over here snack size Oreos.
See, Cole, in the comment before, I mean, hey, he respects your opinion. You got God's team there.
God's team's the Steelers. That's an interesting one. Never heard of it that way.
Colton doesn't agree.
You chose the team on the wrong side of the state. Now you're choosing the wrong end of food.
It is funny.
Are they double stuffed or single stuffed?
Just better be the right. Oh, you are just all off today. That's 3. Get out of here.
Honestly, I'm a big fan of the off-brand Oreos. They taste better than the on-brand Oreos.
Can we leave?
That's an insane
Can we
statement.
Well, no,
That's
I've had
a
Oreos and
crazy
they just taste like
Can I
chalk
kick
dust.
Will out? Can we run the rest of the show?
That
I don't
is
even-
wild. On-brand Oreos is nuts, dude. That's a crazy statement.
I can't be associated with this group anymore.
All right, we got fantasy questions in here. What's this
Well,
one?
first-
There's no such thing as breakfast. It's just food. Eat whatever you want when you want.
Amen. Amen.
Listen. If you're somewhere in the South and you leave a bar and it's like 3 a.m., you have just, you find your way to a Waffle House, okay? I'll always admire that Nashville trip we had in 2019, Dom. We just went through time at a Waffle House. Hot tub time machine, but it's Waffle House time machine.
Daylight savings happened, and all of a sudden we were in Waffle House instead of an hour, 2 hours. So that was a thing. At 1 a.m., 2 a.m., whatever, 3. What? Yeah, whatever. One that turned to 3 a.m. However that works. Tell you what, there's some overreactions in here. I will say that. Something about the Colts.
I saw something about the Dolphins,
getting disrespected. Yeah, kind of
Miami Heat as well. We got a lot of stuff here.
Yeah.
I want to start out with Cade Bateman, who says start 3, Chuba Hubbard, Alvin Kamara, Breece Hall, Lad McConkey, or Jackson Smith and Jigba. I would definitely lock in Lad. I would possibly do Hubbard. I would think Hubbard at least would be a good one. And then, I would say Alvin Kamara. I would say Kamara or Breece. Breece did have a good game on Sunday, so I would lock in one of the two there.
I like Kamara just because the fact that he is like the Saints' only thing.
Yeah.
Like every time they move the ball, it's gonna be a point.
That's pretty much. I agree. He gets a lot of pass. He gets a lot of receiving yards too.
I got Peyton 12 here who says, help me pick 2, Kyron Williams, Breece Hall, or Josh Jacobs. And I got another question after. I would say Josh Jacobs for sure. And then Breece, I don't know. I didn't really see too much of Kyron. I know he scored on Sunday.
They were running the ball though, dude. Kyron didn't do that much. They were running the ball. I would say maybe Breece.
I would say Breece till further notice.
Yeah, dude, kind of.
Jacobs has to be a lock against.
Yeah, Jacobs is a lock.
Until Washington can show they can stop the run.
I agree. We got trade Lad for AJ Brown. Honestly, if it's 1-1, maybe, but even then, I don't know, because on any given Sunday they could match each other's production. I think, to be honest, Herbert balled out and Lad had a decent day. Wasn't no Quentin Johnson apparently, but I think Lad still has a good season. I don't know if it's worth reaching for, to be honest, if you have to trade more than that.
That's like the whole the question from last week with Jalen Hurts and Josh Allen. It's like you have one of the guys. You don't really need to spend to go get a guy in the same level.
Yeah, he was just a Josh Allen fan. So I get if you're a fan, but then sometimes that's a double-edged sword, man. Sometimes they let you down twice in the same day, both on your fantasy team and on your own team. And then it's like, damn, this blows even more.
My least favorite song, Fiend. But this person's probably much better than the song. Says JCM or JT. You mean Bill? We're not. It's Bill. Calling him Bill, and it's Jonathan Taylor here. I would say Bill for right now until, Jonathan Taylor's going against that really good Broncos front seven, so obviously some question marks there. But I would say Bill is going to be your play here.
Tell you what, we're gonna get a lot of Justin Fields questions. I got a Drake May or Justin Fields start.
I would say Fields until further notice. I mean, he
Jussie
looked
for
really
Jussie.
good.
Sussy for Jussie.
Or Kyler or Fields.
Sussy for Jussie.
Who's Arizona playing?
Arizona's playing the Panthers at in Arizona, so
Go Kyler,
Nope,
bro.
nope, Sussy for Jussie.
until further notice, okay, until Justin Fields does not do anything good.
Until he forgets how to throw a football, which might be every time he doesn't play the Steelers.
Jossman, he was here earlier. I want to get his question out. He says Hollywood and AJ Brown for Nico Collins. I say that is a lot.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. Not while Rashee
that's a
Rice is
lot.
out. Hollywood cooked, man. Hollywood was absolutely cooking. Olivia says Pitts or Andrews, and damn, is that a rough?
I would never have Mark Andrews touch my fantasy lineup again. I am not going to get hurt again by that fraud. Okay, I went off on that
Trying to get
tangent.
hurt by Pitts again.
Yeah, dude, I don't. That's just
Why is
that's
anyone
a
picking him up?
super rough time. I mean, Pitts had
We-
what? Oh, he had 12 points. All right, that's
We
not.
do picks at the end of the show, so probably we'll be doing this for another like 15 minutes. Then we do picks at the end of the show.
I might genuinely have to go Pitts over Andrews, which is just an insane statement. That's the world we live in at the moment.
Peyton comes back here with my next question. Need two neighbors: Jacoby Myers, Brian Thomas Jr., Ridley, T Mac, and Booty.
Go off.
I want to say neighbors, but like after that first, I don't know. Neighbors looks really done with the Giants after that. I might even say Jacoby Myers just because, like,
Yeah,
why
that's
not?
no problem. I
And
like that.
then I would say Brian Thomas Jr. going against the Bengals defense. So I think he's going to get a lot more availability moving forward. So definitely Jacoby Myers and Brian Thomas.
Josh says DJ Moore, Hollywood Brown, Terry McLaurin. Pick two. DJ Moore, Brown, Hollywood Brown, Terry McLaurin. I think Hollywood's almost like a lock on that
I
because
would definitely lock in Hollywood.
production's just pointing at him.
Maybe DJ Moore. I mean, Ben
Maybe.
Johnson knows the defense of Detroit, so
It's kind of true. Terry's
I started DJ Moore confidently in my 126 point outing after Taylor Swift's fiance decided to murder Xavier Worthy on not even national TV, national YouTube.
there you go.
International internet?
Coleman over Odunze? Question mark.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so too.
Coleman looked good. Jaden said traded away Bucky and Pittman for Brees Hall and Marv. Keep in mind Marv will be on your bench. Who else are your receivers there, Jaden?
I mean, I still kind of like that trade though. So
Hey, until as Will Colton said, further notice. Let's see. Nick says have Neighbors and Drake May, and they are hurt. Other wide receivers are Diggs, Adunze, and Debo. Neighbors definitely gonna play, regardless. Drake London, I'm not too sure. It looked pretty. It didn't look too good when he fell down.
Fabrice says, should I start Coleman? That being said, or flex? I mean, he's not a bad flex. If you have a better starter, you have a better starter.
Flex. I wouldn't throw him at a wide receiver spot. And if you do, boy, oh boy, you're in trouble. If that's what you're putting in the wide out.
Josh, I this is for your before question. Even if you have Jaden Daniels, should you still go DJ Moore? Yeah, I still would. I mean, Green Bay's defense was pretty good last week too, especially. I get the double dip.
B says Nico, JSN, Puka, or Abuka. Pick three. I think Abuka's a definite start. That was fun. That was fun last week. Puka against the Titans, I think would be a pretty good matchup, and then maybe Nico against the Bucks. Obviously, the Texans need a big bounce back game.
Yeah, someone also said start Abuka over Sutton? Question mark. I would still kind of say yes, to be honest.
Here we go.
Mm.
Chaser Monkey says Lad or Abuka.
See, the Emeka Ibuka stuff, calm down, folks. Calm
Wow.
down. Pump,
It's
pump
I'm a proud fantasy owner. I say start Ibuka until the wheels fall off.
brakes on a Mecha Ibuka. You guys
I
are.
do like Lad though. Lad's kind of the move. He is the number one. He gets the
I mean,
ball.
even Cortland Sutton, I thought was kind of nuts. You said Ibuka over Cortland Sutton. He's the number one guy there, and Bo Nix sucks. I am dying on that hill as well as he played last year because he fungooled me week 1 with an absolute dog water performance.
Sutton did really perform last year though.
Yeah, the two worst quarterback performances of last week were Tua and Bo Nix.
Facts.
Yeah, gosh damn Bo Nix.
Chris says trade Burrow for Lamb. I want to know who your other quarterback is. If you have Burrow,
Do you have Lamar?
yeah, dude. I don't I don't know what you should do, but I would keep Burrow in that situation. Burrow's gonna be good down the stretch.
No, I would take CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
again, I want to know who's other
I'm one of
quarterback.
those weirdos that don't value quarterbacks in fantasy football. Like, if you're not getting Josh Allen or Lamar, dude, I think they're all relatively similar. Yet, says the same guy that Bo Nix and Trevor Lawrence absolutely shoved up his ass this week. So I could be totally wrong. So,
Those are your quarterbacks, and you're the one talking right now.
by the way, I win fantasy. I do win fantasy. I have my trophy downstairs with my plaque on it. So I don't know.
I got a belt behind me. Colton puts belts to asses.
I'm on
Dude,
that
I actually
solely because of Mahomes.
I'm actually pretty good at fantasy, and I've always not valued the quarterback position. It could just be a me thing. I just always don't.
Which is kind of nuts because if you filter every season going into the draft, if you just filter all players by points, it's quarterbacks, all the starting quarterbacks first.
Oh,
So
of course, quarterbacks always have the most points, but they're always kind of if I can find a quarterback that gets me around 20 a week, I'm good, which is almost every single quarterback at some point. So it's
but I tell you what, we have someone in our league who had solely won off of Josh Allen. No, didn't win, but solely didn't have the worst points ever because they had Josh Allen who dropped 44 points. So sometimes that upper echelon of top 3 or 5.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If it's not Josh Allen or Lamar, I usually pass on the quarterback. I'll wait till towards the end. I'll grab everything else. That's just how I do fantasy. If I'm not getting one of those two guys, I wait.
Yeah.
Mahomes had the best fantasy season points ever at that point. And that's why my team was the championship team.
Or that one week where I had Mahomes and Tyreek Hill, and one had 60, one had 40.
Because you guys conspired to trade him to you week you played me.
Insane.
Jaden came back and he says he traded away Bucky and Pittman for Brees and Marv. He says the other receivers are Justin Jefferson, Pearsall, Zay, and Keon.
That's not bad.
It's not bad. I mean, hey, it's a good bench piece. Or are you just trading him for something better? You could group him around for something better.
Someone said Ibuka for London, Drake London, ?
Are you getting who you?
I don't know. I think you're trading Ibuka for London, which I don't know about that. Though Drake London had a great season last season, fantastic in fantasy. I don't know. That's tough because I think Ibuka will.
Got hurt in week 1, didn't he? Doesn't he have
a
shoulder sprain or some sort, MCL or something?
Yeah,
I MCL, was it MC joint or some shit?
Yeah, 100%.
Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson came out and apologized to the Bills fan he shoved.
Why?
Because he was in a neck brace.
Yeah.
No, that guy wasn't the same guy.
Oh, what?
I say no way him shoving that guy, put him in the neck brace. No way.
Wait, I thought that was the guy. Then who's the guy in the neck brace?
He shouldn't apologize. The guy who's smacking the players.
Players.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, so who's the guy in the neck brace then? Where'd the guy in the neck brace come from?
No, it's just an internet thing. It's just an internet meme.
So you're telling me?
So you're telling me you see those videos of the 18-wheelers jumping on the trampolines, and you're like, damn, they really do that at night,
man.
Sounds like Boomer Esiason with the AI generated stuff.
I saw it without sound.
Is that real?
Oh,
Is that real?
Or that one basketball podcast where it's like, oh, Ben Simmons retired, and they got Centelled.
Let me get my glasses on. Is that real? Are that barnacles on a seal?
Let's see. Christian says Nico for Kyron, Judkins, and Addison. I need depth really bad. He has CD and Judy at his receivers. Dude, if you could get that, then I would say do it. Addison comes back, 2 weeks. Obviously, his value is going to start going up eventually. I say go for it, man.
Kind of a wild trade, to be honest.
Febreze says wide receivers are CD, Coleman, Hollywood, and McConkey. Help me first year of fantasy. How many people? Well, who do you need? Do you need 2 receivers and a flex, or just 2 receivers right now? Gotti says start Fields over Bo Nix.
Yeah.
Got fly time.
Chase
All
says
about fly time.
Adams or Abuka? Question mark. Might have to go Abuka. Like Devontae's cool and all, but
Devontae's also cooked.
Devontae's a little bit old, and I trust Baker. So
Let's see. Let's get back to Febreze here. So he says 2 and a flex. So CD, Coleman, Hollywood, and McConkey. CD's an obvious start. I would say McConkey, then Hollywood.
No argument. That's the 3 I was going with.
or did we just get gifted something, Will? I didn't see what that was.
We got a cowboy hat.
Hell
from
yeah.
Gotti. But unfortunately, no, because we don't use the cameras on TikTok. That's why they won't get put on us.
That would be hilarious.
So if I had like a second camera that I put on my side, then like, yeah, we could get like the effects or whatever.
You should.
Ivan says Bo Nix or Drake May next week. Maybe Drake. I mean,
Miami scares me with the Patriots.
Yeah. It's also in Miami in September where it's going to be 1,000 degrees and.
But they just like don't have anyone playing anymore. I don't know. I have no idea how to feel about that game.
We got a lot of fanning comments in here. One Milio says drop Njoku for fanning, which is I think the Browns backup tight end. And another one is kills on IR. Should I start fanning or Ertz?
Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
Is Fanning playing already?
Oh, you got to start Ertz though. Ertz had a touchdown last week. Ertz does get the ball still. Like I feel like you still have to start Ertz. Ertz is actually really like not a bad.
I still don't know like too much about fanning. I don't know if it was kind of like a one game wonder type situation.
He's awesome. He was in college.
That's like Samson, dude. Don't know how to feel about that situation.
Carson,
Hampton?
I do not see your chats. TikTok's weird. Sometimes they don't like come through. So if you send it again, we'll definitely be able to read it.
GT, Kamara, ETN, and Samson. In order, I would say Kamara is definitely the start. Then GT, then ETN, then Samson. Samson is a tough. I just don't know how to feel about that situation because he wasn't really supposed to be the guy, but he was very clearly the guy, kind of. Start Bo Nix or Trevor Lawrence. Maybe T-Law. Who are they playing?
Cincinnati.
Yeah, I mean, that might be a move. You want to do like 3 more questions, Will?
Yeah, let's do 3 more questions here.
Diggs or Mooney? I mean, Mooney's actually a start, especially if Drake London's not playing. Mooney did great last season. That's kind of a move. Stephon Diggs wasn't bad, but I would go Mooney still. I think.
Did you get Jake with the Hampton, Chuba, and ETN?
No.
He says, I got to set 1. I would say you got to start ETN now that Tank is up the I-95 corridor. And I like Hampton. I have Hampton. I like him. Obviously, it wasn't a great week 1, but obviously it's going to get better as you go on. It's like Jahmyr Gibbs and all these guys. Like, it's not that good, and then, it gets better as the season goes on. Carson says, should I start Pearsall, Sutton, Ladd? Who should I start out of Pearsall, Sutton, Ladd, and Ridley? I would say Sutton would be a start, and then maybe Pearsall. And maybe Ladd at the flex.
Pearsall, yeah.
And then let's just answer.
Penix or Nix? Penix or Nix?
I would start Michael here.
Yeah, I agree.
Michael Jr. And let's just answer one more. Gotti, I have T-Mac in the flex. Should I keep him there or start Mason or Samson? I would say you keep him there. Obviously, Samson got a lot of third down, coverage. Then Mason still splitting reps with Aaron Jones, who did look good though. They both did look good. And also, let's just get this guy. Period says, should I take Hill, Javonte Williams, and Samson to trade away? Jamar, Rashad, and White is my RB2. Should I take Hill, Javonte, and trade away Jamar, Rashad? I wouldn't trade for Tyreek. There's too much stuff to go out there.
I'm not trading for Tyreek at all right now. I mean, he might get traded to a different team where he actually is going to be good. But
And then one more. Alpine says start Javante or Tracy. I would say start Javante until the wheels go off. All right. Back to our regularly scheduled programming here. Game of the week, guys. A lot of great games this week. Where are we looking at here for our game that we enjoyed the most?
well,
I think there's only 2 games here. No offense. I think it's the one that I witnessed Sunday at the AC unit or the one Sunday Night Football. I'm going to go to the one that I witnessed in person and the team that I saw win. I'm going Steelers Jets. Great to see Rodgers going to MetLife and drop 4 touchdowns on the Jets. So that was quite fitting. By the way, the fans booing him or something else. You're talking about the guy that got flown out to get fired in 5 minutes. Like, he didn't quit on you. You guys fired him and cut him. Not his problem. Sure, he brought in his own guys. That's fine. That's your crappy organization letting him do that. Someone could have put their foot down like, Aaron. You're the quarterback. We'll take care of the personnel. Don't boo the man. Not my fault. That's what your franchise did. Shout out Aaron.
Baltimore Buffalo was obviously like the down to the wire, like exciting 2 of the top teams game of the week. I do have to go with that just being kind of like one of my favorite games. It was good. It was the matchup you see at the end of seasons that matter a lot. And we got that week 1. So that was cool. Which we got a couple of, to be honest, this week 1, but I enjoyed that because it was under the lights. That's that energy that you see that happens at the end of seasons when everything's on the line. So
any of the primetime games.
Yeah, the primetime games were good. The night games are back.
The wildest first game ever, which is just all the antics that happened. The Brazil game was really good.
Yeah.
That might be my pick. I think I'm going to go with the Brazil game.
It was good.
But then, like, the McCarthy looking like the real deal in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say Jets Steelers. I mean, I didn't think Boswell had it in him to kick a 60-yard field goal, but this also isn't Heinz Field where, anything over 50 isn't a guaranteed kick. But yeah, it was a good game overall. Hey, revenge game all over. Fields looked good. Rodgers looked good. DK Metcalf looked like a star. Yeah, couldn't beat anyone.
Willis likes getting hurt.
Tell you what, Daniel Jones.
I'm tanking, man.
Daniel Jones showing out kind of makes it really feel like the Giants couldn't be in a hotter seat situation.
Or what about the Vikings? They let go of Darnold and Daniel Jones this offseason. They could have kept one of them.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not like that. They had a dude and they won. They scored a touchdown this week, which is the Giants haven't done for the 3rd consecutive week 1 in a row. So I mean, it's a bad look. I mean, Daboll and Schoen have to be on the hottest of seats immediately to start the season already.
They have their black ace in their back pocket.
They're
still not getting fired until he looks bad.
Still think they're just. I mean, it's tough, bro. When you week 1 and everyone's laughing at the Giants immediately again.
They chose to go with Russell. They chose to pick up 2 quarterbacks before trading up and drafting one.
Hey, they could have had Rodgers. You could have had Stafford. I mean, Stafford one would have been really bad if, the back injury happened to him in New Jersey too. So,
yeah, but it's bad.
Return of our favorite segment of the entire show. Buy, sell, and hold ahead of week 2, gentlemen. Where are we buying into this overinflated thing that we call, buys here?
I'm gonna buy the Chargers. I was gonna hold them. I was gonna hold them.
Jake, you need one of those trifold cardboard cutouts and put it in between you guys so we can't look at your buys or anything.
He saw me write it down and then did it.
That's why you need that. You need the trifold. You put it on there, and then boom, it's all good.
I did not see him write it down. I actually wrote it in my hold, and then I decided to go with another.
I'm like, I'm buying the Chargers, and then I'm like, you didn't even write anything down yet.
I have had hope on Justin Herbert. I have him on fantasy. I am all in on the Chargers. I really want them to be what we want them to be and Herbert. So I'm just going to straight up buy in. I kind of bought before the season already, but week 1 was a great week for the Chargers, man. So,
man, did I want to pick them to win the division and that game.
yeah,
It was
right.
going to be the Chiefs until it wasn't for me.
Mm-hmm. Colton, where do you want to go with your buy here?
I wonder.
Do I buy the handoff merchant? Do I buy the 41-year-old quarterback? What do I buy this week? How about none of those? How about I buy Daniel Jones? How about I buy Daniel Jones and throw you all off? How about Danny Dimes? This is going to go back to a hold next week as he's going to come down to earth. But Daniel Jones, big shout out to Danny Dimes. There's my buy of the week. We'll see what he does in Indy.
Spoken like a true Giant season ticket holder.
Yeah, what a fraud. Miami fan. Bye.
I have 2 buys here. I'm going to buy the NFL because it's back. I'm happy football's back. It's my favorite sport. I'm going to buy into Emeka Buka. I really thought he was amazing. He called his route. Mike Evans said to reporters, he says, I want to run the post route, throw me the ball, and he catches the game-winning touchdown. So, listen, his second win in this stadium in 2025, because, Ohio State won the national championship, so in that stadium. Hey, all the power to it. Emeka, let's go.
It's kind of badass. Go him, dude.
Let's see. Sells. Where do we want to go with our sells here?
Anyone guess mine before I say it?
I don't want to jump on it. I don't want to spoil it.
All right. In no surprise, the man that fell apart after his 10 scripted plays, Caleb Williams. Come on down. You're getting sold. I'm done. Seen enough. We're done. It's over.
I saw someone on Twitter going around. And he was like, "Oh, this is just another sad era of Bears football." And they had all the screenshots of every head coach. It's like a new era, a new era, a new era. And then they got the Ben Johnson one where they had him walking out the tunnel, and they're like, "It's a new era here."
Like, what's the excuse now? You have like the play caller again, like Lincoln Riley. They revamped the O-line. You have DeAndre Swift, who's like a guaranteed around 1,000-yard running back. You got all these weapons on the outside. They drafted a new receiver for you again. What's the problem now? You can't hit 5 yards, throwing him in the dirt.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it is so true about the Dolphins. Well, that kind of
them too.
All right, it is so true about the Bears, where it is just like a new era, and then bang, there you go with the same failure. But I'm gonna go with the Dolphins, man. I think he was the worst quarterback on Sunday. I mean, it just felt like we watched Indianapolis way overperform because Miami could have just been that bad. And then I feel like this is what we see out of Miami like 5 weeks in.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact this is week 1 and this is how it's starting, I think it's looking like they just could easily be the bottom of the AFC East, which is saying something. So
that's right. Picked on to be.
Yeah, I might have too, to be honest. But yeah, it's I'm selling it, getting out of the way.
Where are we going there, Mr. Hubby?
Oh, where do I go on this one? I'm going to sell him the Carolina Panthers. Bryce Young got my ass on this wagon last season. And I was like, all right, Bryce Young might be that guy that we all thought he was coming out of college. And then you play the Jacksonville Jaguars. I know it's week 1. Boy, oh boy, did he suck ass again. And it looked like Bryce Young in the beginning of last year. This kid may just be bang average, actually worse than average. Yeah. I really want to get onto the Bryce Young wagon. I'm getting off before it starts.
Damn.
Don't really blame you.
Damn.
I kind of thought that game would be rough because of the front. The front for Jacksonville is good, but like it didn't
Mhm.
be that bad.
I couldn't really think of a good sell for this one, but I'm gonna go back to earlier in the week with the baseball girl that made the headlines all around. Yeah, I saw an edit of her today where it was Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, and she's trying to steal Charlie's golden ticket.
Damn.
I
So,
really
listen,
hope that was worth it.
I hate the internet sometimes, but man, people are really clever with this stuff.
Hey, it was almost worth it for the father and son because they got a lot more out of
Yeah,
it.
they
than
got
baseball,
so
that was-
much out of it.
Absolutely worth it for them.
yeah. So I mean, that was pretty sick. Normalizing planting someone in the stands in case you get a ball so that they look like crap and you get a lot more. But no,
That doesn't sound like that bad of an idea. Just
it really, it really sounds like a great idea.
Let's go with holds here. What do we want to hold on here entering week number 2?
I'm gonna hold for the sake of what I do in future weeks, either sell or buy these teams. I'm gonna hold Detroit because without your previous coordinators, I expected more. I did, so I'm gonna hold because hopefully that's not on a decline. And I'm gonna hold the Las Vegas Raiders because I did say it last week that I might have even just said it in the fantasy stuff that I do really think like we're kind of sleeping on Geno Smith and that team because Geno Smith does have a couple weapons. Gene T's there, like Pete Carroll's not incompetent. Their defense kind of sucks, but I mean, I genuinely think that team is not a bottom feeder team at the moment. So I'm gonna hold for the Raiders, man. They could go 7-9 or whatever, and have a better season than a lot of people are thinking that they could have. So yeah. Who's next?
That wasn't Centel? Oh my god. No way. I thought I got Centelled. They put so the dunk, well, NBA Central said the Hornets were hosting a sports betting night and now they're no longer holding it. I got Centelled so hard here.
That's it.
Yeah. My hold Daniel Jones. I want to see it again. I want to see it again. He looked really good. Let's see it again.
See, like I thought about holding just the Detroit offensive line because of like with Frank Ragnow and the shuffling they did, like that was clearly an issue. But I think they'll figure that out. Then I thought, you know what? We have not really seen that guy out of CJ Stroud since the rookie year. And he had the excuses of the O-line last season. And it's just kind of like I'm starting to not care. Like you gotta show me something now. Like I'm getting worried there. So he's on the hold list. We'll see where he goes from there.
I'm going to hold, and only because I picked them this week. So I can't sell them. I'm going to hold them or pick them this week. I'm holding the Miami Dolphins. This might be a first and last also, like Daniel Jones on the buy. I'm holding the Dolphins. I still can't believe what the hell popped up in week 1 from the Dolphins. Same time, I could also see it. So we're holding the Miami Dolphins. And if they lose this week, then they're instantly going on the sell, and you can bookmark it, and that's where it'll be next week.
It is time. 16 games down, a whole bunch more to go. Dom or Jake or Colton, I do not have the picks up here. So if you guys want to pull up, I'm pulling up the other stuff. I don't have the doc open, so I will be hyping up every single matchup as we go through. But before then, let's recap last week really quickly, where, yeah, somehow it was just this methodical 9-7 and 11-5. Jake was really good through that, 1 o'clock hour, and then just, yeah, But hey, tied for first.
Freaking Raiders was the only one in that 1 o'clock hour.
I really wanted to pick the Raiders, and I saw your guys pick, and I said, oh, I'm going to get rid of them. But here we go. 9-7 and 11-5 are our numbers here. Let's shift us up here. Amazon's first Thursday Night Football of the year. The Commanders are traveling to what Dan Campbell said, on the 8th day, God created Lambeau, and yeah, here it is. So, yep. Lambeau Field hosting this game. Where are we going at for picks here?
I'll let the one person not picking Green Bay say their opinion.
Yeah, I'm the biggest like Jaden Daniels guy ever since I came out of college, so I might as well ride with my boy another week with Terry McLaurin. Deebo Samuel's healthy for another week because he's now still playing for now. I think the Commanders win this game, and I've been like anti-Green Bay. It's like, how am I gonna like all of a sudden fold like the rest of you guys? How bland we said Green Bay was, and you all pick them. Nope. I'm sticking to
this
my
was
guns.
before Parsons, man.
Something
Parsons
changed.
really changes it.
I'm sticking to my guns. Give me the damn commies.
There.
Give me the commies.
Yeah, the rest of us are taking Green Bay.
From Green Bay, we stay in the Central Time Zone for Sunday as the Giants go to Dallas for Dallas's home opener. I'm 100% sure we're all taking Dallas here. I'm hoping. So I'm going to skip on.
You can't.
Have you
hate.
heard Jackson Dart has a couple of plays? Dable said, "Oh, that report's false. Doesn't put him in." Oh, man.
Starting by week 6. He is so starting by week 6.
And from Dallas, we go to Pittsburgh for their home opener. They are facing another former Jets quarterback, Sam Darnold, in the revenge game for DK Metcalf here. Where are these picks going for this one? Are we sweeping?
Yeah, this is a sweep Pittsburgh. I genuinely kind of wanted to choose Seattle for.
I'm shocked you guys did a full board sweep here.
You know what I did? I went and I Googled Sam Darnold's stats from this past week, and then that's what made me choose Pittsburgh.
I blame my friend Jeff. My friend Jeff literally was sending me those gifts of Darnold, and it goes into, Tom Brady. I sent it in the group, and I said, "Oh, it's happening." And then, Lucas or whatever, his offensive lineman, made him fumble.
Like 115 yards, no touchdowns or something. It wasn't much. So
150.
150. Yeah.
Steelers made Justin Fields look like a Hall of Famer, having his best game of his career. So easily can come back around on the Steelers.
I'll be sending that gift if that happens. But another West Coast team traveling out.
I hope Sam Darnold sucks all season just so I don't have to see it anymore.
You'll see it.
But the Rams, they go to Nashville, Tennessee, where the Titans have their home opener. Is this another sweep, if I remember recalling it?
For your favorite team. For our favorite team.
Our favorite team. There we go. Go Rampage. He's somewhere back there. But
Did somebody say boom?
We have like 3 games until we get there. I don't know why you're throwing that there so early here. But here, somehow, this is the national televised game of the week. The Buffalo Bills go to MetLife Stadium to play the New York Jets here. I would assume this is a sweep of Buffalo.
Yes, this is indeed a sweep of Buffalo.
Let's go, Buffalo. And from one AFC East team to another, we go down and take our towns to the South Beach, where the Patriots go to Miami to play the Miami Dolphins here. And I just opened up the picks on my phone, Dom. What happened?
I'm standing on business. I sold Miami. I'm staying consistent here. I picked New England. That's that.
The 3 of us are picking Miami, and Dom is lone wolfing the New England Patriots. As we go to Cincinnati, Jaguars are playing the Bengals at home. This is a sweep of the Bengals. A bit of a surprise, but a sweep of the Bengals here.
I don't think any of us
Not
were
confident, but
I don't think any of us were being caught picking.
I don't think we were confident picking, any of us picking the Bengals last week.
Wow.
That's why I didn't pick them. All righty, Brandon Staley with
Did somebody say boom?
Mhm.
Dom is too happy with the explosion button there. But 49ers, another game on the road. They go to NOLA and play the New Orleans Saints here, where we're all sweeping the San Francisco 49ers amid Brock Purdy and George Kittle, Jawan Jennings. A lot of question marks there on the injury front for the 49ers. Another 1 o'clock game we go. The Browns go to Baltimore for the Ravens home opener here, and we're all sweeping the Baltimore Ravens. Ben Johnson returns to his alma mater here, where the Bears take on the Lions in Detroit. Dom, where are we going on these ones?
You tell us. The rest
yeah.
of us pick Detroit. We need to hear from you there, Chief.
Oh, man. I actually forgot that I put that there. All right, we're gonna sweep.
Oh, here we go.
We're gonna sweep here. We're gonna sweep the Detroit Lions here as we head to a very thin 4 o'clock hour. Okay, the Broncos go to Indianapolis, the Peyton Manning Bowl essentially, but Peyton Manning has been in the league for 10 years here. We're all Jake. We're not all. Jake here is going with the Broncos.
Listen, I'm not doing this Daniel Jones shit. I'm not doing
How many wins did he give the Eagles, and you don't want to buy into this at least one
That's
time?
exactly why I'm not picking him.
It's a giant problem. What are you talking about? Every Giants player, Saquon Barkley's been great. Daniel Jones, 1 game away from the Giants, is great. Julian Love away from the Giants. It just works. It just works.
As we have Derpy Entertainment here, going with the Broncos as well on this one.
Derpy.
So Jake's not lone wolfing this week.
Derpy.
Defense wins.
It's true.
As we go from the edge of the Eastern time zone, we go all the way to Arizona, where Panthers,
1 o'clock hour.
Panthers and Cardinals here. And we're all taking the Arizona Cardinals here.
Why couldn't this game get washed into the 1 o'clock hour?
Well, Arizona can't play 1 o'clock hour games.
No, they should anyway. This game should be forced to be a 1 o'clock hour. Oh,
all of our West Coast teams that we play this year are all 1 o'clocks and not 4. So what are we doing here?
Yeah, but
if you're playing out there, if you're playing out on the West Coast,
yeah, I don't care.
That game should have been forced at 1 o'clock.
The rematch of Super Bowl 59, but this time it's not in a neutral site. It is in Kansas City, where the Eagles come into town after the Chiefs had a very disappointing game in South America here. And we're all sweeping the Philadelphia Eagles. Jake, are you going to say the line?
Go Birds, dickhead.
Here we go. Colton, you're going to like this about the last matchup. Booty versus mid here, the average bowl game.
Booty versus booty, honestly. It's booty versus booty is honestly what it is.
Should make it that 4 o'clock Thanksgiving game so you could sleep through it.
Yeah, honestly. Oh.
Sunday Night Football here. J.J. McCarthy, Michael Penix Jr., they face off for the first time since the national championship game with Washington and Michigan. But instead of Huskies and Wolverines, this is Falcons and Vikings. Dom here. Dom, what is going on here?
I actually think the Falcons looked decent. They moved the ball. Like,
how much faith do you have in Younghoe Koo really winning a game if it came down to it?
Yeah, well, their situation is the same situation from last year carrying over to this year. The Vikings are still a new quarterback stuff. I don't know. I'm just going Atlanta. I mean, I really think this could go either way, to be honest with you.
That was a real glowing endorsement.
It wasn't. I don't know.
We have 2 Monday Night Football games. The early one at 7 o'clock Eastern. The Buccaneers traveled to Houston. If you remember the last time these two teams played, C.J. Stroud had that historic 470-yard passing game and I think 6 touchdowns. So, yeah.
Yeah, the last time he was that guy.
And Colton is picking that guy here. All alone wolfing the Houston Texans.
Yeah, this is going to quickly, if they lose this game, going to turn into a hold. I'm already giving everyone predictions for next week. You can lock all these suckers in. Yeah. Miami loses, sell. Houston loses, hold for CJ Stroud and company. I'm already giving it to you, folks.
And then we head to a 10. Oh,
Oh, there we go.
read the vocal.
Somebody say boom.
Which one do you want? Do you want Chargers or Raiders? We have both of them there.
Yeah, really.
The battle of the boom game, as we call it here on For the Fan. Yep, 10 o'clock Eastern. Chargers and Raiders. Back to the good old days of got to stay up late for that Week 1 matchup to watch all these games get played. I am lone wolfing the Las Vegas Raiders here.
Surprising.
Is it? Not really.
Really, it's Gino.
It's Gino.
Yeah, I mean that's the redeeming factor for the Raiders. I think is Gino actually can genuinely distribute the ball.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, rounds out our show. As we somehow hurt ourselves each and every episode. Me straining vocal cords. Who knows how that's going to affect me for the next time. But yeah, follow us on all the platforms down below. YouTube For the Fan Network, TikTok For the Fan Network, Instagram For the Fan Football. Yeah, For the Fan Network, and then Instagram For the Fan Football. X, all that stuff. There, I'm done. Any final thoughts as we close out the show?
Not a ting.
Yeah, not really.
Every Wednesday we are live. Tune in. Everywhere. TikTok. We do fantasy shows. Tomorrow night got fantasy shows coming up. So yep, everyone tune in. Have a great week. Enjoy it all, and we'll see you back next week. Thank you very much.